Hi everybody, welcome to the Prairie Island Community Garden. My name is Mikhail Childs, and today I'm going to show you a little bit about the composting system that we use here at the garden. We use a combination system of a pallet or stall type composting system in combination with a compost tumbler, which increases the rate at which we can compost materials, because here at the garden we deal with a lot of weeds and other yard debris or garden debris that you find commonly in a garden. As you can see, we have 4 stalls. One of them is occupied by the tumbler itself. We have labeling system that we use to help our community members find the right spot for their materials. So this is where the members would leave their compost materials that they have accumulated. We encourage tribal members not only to use the materials they find here in their gardens, but we also encourage them to bring household compost and any kind of leaves, grass clippings, that all of it will break down and to produce a very healthy, nutrient-rich medium for us to add to the garden. This is where we start out with one stall. We label it new, and that's where all the fresh green and undecomposed materials might go. As we work our way down, some of them are not in order, but we'll let the new material break down. Once it's breaking down a little bit and it's starting to dry out, we'll then try to add it to our compost tumbler. Using the tumbler, we're able to incorporate a lot more oxygen, which speeds up the composting process, but it also helps us keep the compost from getting too wet, which would cause it to mold and mildew, which we don't really want it to. We want it to break down, but we don't want it to stink. And that's where you get a lot of your smells, is from the molds and mildews that will form in a really moist environment. These systems are really good because they are really large. The volume that you can put into a tumbler like this helps create a heating mass, and that mass, the heat from that, the size of that will actually keep the composting system working well below ambient, desirable ambient temperatures. And that's one of the things we use this for, is to monitor the temperatures inside the compost tumbler and inside the piles. Like this one here, the finished tumbler or the finished compost would read, about ambient or ground temperature. Some of these newer piles might actually start composting and reach a little higher temperatures on warm, sunny days. But inside these tumblers, we're looking for temperatures well up into the 120 degree range. For good composting, you want to, in order to kill off any bad diseases or to kill any weed seeds, you want to see that temperature well above 130 for at least 3 to 4 days. And that will ensure that you don't have any residual seeds, weed seeds, or other undesirables inside your tumbler or in your compost. One of the benefits of using the compost tumbler is that we're able to screen the material after it's been composted, because some of the material, depending on the size of the material you start with, will break down faster than others, and based on the type of material, woodier materials take longer to break down. So with this tumbler system, what we're able to do is take these doors off and install a screen, and then as we turn it, we crank it, we can sift out the fine, well broken down composted materials and separate it from the larger undigested materials that are yet to, and that we can use those larger materials because they've been in the compost and are loaded with all the good bacteria and fungus and microorganisms that are doing all the work for us. It's kind of used as a starter for the next batch all the big materials that aren't big enough to go or aren't completely broken down will go into the next batch, and then incorporating all that microorganisms into the new batch and speeding up the process even more.